brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks. In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the transmission mount. This is a 2003 Honda Civic, and this is basically the same for any 2001 to 2005 Civic with the 1.7 liter. Items you'll need are a new transmission mount from 1AAuto.com, 10 to 15 millimeter sockets with ratchet extensions, 15 to 17 millimeter wrenches, jack and jack stands, penetrating oil, and a torque wrench.
When jacking up the motor and transmission, you want to use a piece of wood so you don't risk breaking the transmission casing or the oil pan. Just going to put a little bit of pressure on the bottom of the transmission so it stays in place when we undo the mount. If you have a factory air cleaner setup, you'll have to remove that. In this case, the vehicle came with an aftermarket intake. We're going to remove the aftermarket intake with this 10 millimeter bolt, undoing this hose clamp, disconnecting this sensor. We're going to put some penetrating oil on the 6 bolts for the transmission mount. We have the 2 for the bracket to the actual transmission, 1 bolt going from the bracket through the actual rubber mount, and then 1, 2, 3 bolts mounting the rubber mount to the body. When removing the bolt from the transmission bracket through the rubber mount, you'll need to use a wrench or a low profile ratchet so you don't come in contact with this bracket on the transmission. Even though the bolt's unthreaded, sometimes they can get stuck to the rubber inside of the mount. So we're going to take 2 wrenches, in this case a 17 and a 15, that fit over the shaft of the bolt and behind the head so we can pry it out. Now we're going to loosen the bolts on the transmission bracket to get enough clearance to remove the rest of our mount bolt. We're going to remove these 2 10 millimeter bolts. With this bolt removed, we'll remove this stop from the motor mount. Take our transmission bracket out of the way, set it aside to access the 3 17 millimeter bolts on the rubber mount.
With the mount out of the vehicle, you can inspect it. What happens a lot on the mounts is the rubber inside tears, and you can actually see that our mount is in good shape, so we're not one to waste a new part, so we're going to reinstall the original one. Here is the original out of the vehicle. If you didn't need a new one from 1AAuto, you can see it's a direct fit, all the same mounting points. It's going to go in, bolt in just like the original.
Reinstall the 3 bolts that attach the transmission mount to the body. We're going to take some penetrating oil and spray it into the rubber mount to make sure our bolt goes through smoothly. Then we'll take our transmission bracket and install it over the studs on the transmission. Before fastening the transmission bracket, we're going to put the bolt through the mount and start the first couple of threads finger tight. So now we're going to bring up the transmission with our floor jack until it touches the bottom of the transmission bracket. Install the fasteners onto the transmission bracket, bring them down tight. So again, ensure that your fasteners are nice and tight by hand. Now we're going to bring the transmission mount bolt down nice and tight by hand. Now if you can get a torque wrench on, the torque spec is 40 foot-pounds, but we're just going to get it nice and tight by hand. So we're going to torque transmission bracket bolts to 40 foot-pounds. Now we'll install this brace with two 10mm bolts. Now we're going to reinstall our aftermarket air intake, or in your case, it could be the OEM air box and intake setup. In the reverse order, we removed it.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope this video helped you out. Next time you need parts for your car, please visit 1aauto.com. Also check out our other helpful how-to as well as diagnosis videos.